The mapping aspect of the project is vital. We're in partnership with the California Academy of Science, Healy Hamilton's lab there, we still don't know the extent of degradation on the land, where the boundaries are, simple things like that. But we also, one of the things that sophisticated mapping can do is to allow us to, you can read the past out of present maps. Different types of trees leave different types of shadows on the land in terms of the soil conditions. Under a certain type of tree are going to change as a result of the leaves and fruits that tree has dropped for years on end. And so we can get a better sense of what type of ecosystem and what the species composition of that ecosystem was in various places with the sophisticated mapping that's going on. The mapping also allows us to read not just the past, but the future. You think of a map as being the present, and of course it is primarily the present. But as I said, it allows you to read the past. That's the type of mapping we're hoping to do will allow us to read the future in terms of the expected changes we might get to the land with climate change, as a result of climate change. Do you want to stop the... Okay. Yes, the climate has changed. The climate has changed as I'm speaking. And so one of our main partners are the Kuna people, who have their own autonomous region, the Kuna Yala. The borders ours, and as I get into education, reciprocal education with the Kuna is a very important part of this project. But the Kuna have a unique way of life, and that unique way of life involves living offshore on islands that are just above sea level. And as global sea level rises, they are at ground zero of climate change. And so getting data, time series data is going to be very important. Time series data through maps. Don't just map once, you map regularly, and by mapping regularly you can see changes on land that occur as a result of global climate change. Education is going to be multifaceted. Education with local people is extremely important to us, and I'm also involved in bringing student groups down from the United States and other first world countries so that reciprocal education can take place. Reciprocal education is one of the things that I want to do, that I want graduate students to do who are trained in science, is to be able to bring that training to the Kuna and the Embera so that they have it without, whether or not they want to go through the a PhD program. We can bring the northern science down here and give them more control over their own fate, both biologically and politically. But the education is reciprocal. We learn from them. In the course that I brought down here this week, I would venture to say that it's not even a problematic statement to say that my students learned more from their interactions with Tony L., our Kuna partner, and Raul, our Embera partner, than they learned from us in this particular week. I'm hoping there'll be other weeks where they learn more from us than we learn from them, but it's always going to continue to be a reciprocal relationship in education. So I'm here to bring my knowledge and give it to the local people, and not just the indigenous people, the campesinos as well, the Hispanic people who live in this area. I want them, they know they can teach me. Someone like Leandro and Rolando, people like that, can teach me what they know about the trees in the forest where they've lived, and I can teach them the science of how these trees evolved, what their scientific names are, what our ecological knowledge of those trees are.